Across the globe, water shapes life. Yet, in some cities, the future is uncertain. Water, so often taken for granted, is the silent architect of civilization, carving canyons, feeding fields, and quenching the thirst of millions. But now, as the sun beats down and rivers run thin, the world's great cities find themselves at a precipice. In places where ancient rivers once flowed freely, taps now sputter and hope recedes. The intricate dance between people and water is under threat. Real estate booms, towers rise, but beneath the foundations, a crisis quietly grows. The promise of prosperity is shadowed by drought, and the value of land is weighed against the scarcity of life's most vital resource. Tonight, I invite you to journey with me through 10 remarkable cities, each facing the growing spectre of water scarcity. Witness their struggles, their resilience, and the hidden dangers that lie beneath. The story of these cities is, in truth, the story of us all. If you want to stay informed about the world's most pressing challenges and the stories that shape our future, make sure to subscribe to our channel. Join our community and never miss an episode. In the shadow of Table Mountain, Cape Town glimmers under the African sun. But behind this beauty, an invisible clock ticks. Reservoirs, once brimming, have shrunk to mere pools, exposing cracked mud and forgotten memories. The city's residents move through their days with quiet determination, rationing each precious drop, their routines shaped by the ebb and flow of water. Lines form at communal taps, children carry buckets, and the collective heartbeat of the city quickens with each passing day. The threat of day zero looms, a moment when the taps will run dry and daily life will be forever altered. It is a test of resilience, innovation, and solidarity as neighbours come together in the face of uncertainty. Real estate here tells a silent tale. Properties near remaining water sources soar in value while others falter. The city's future, like the level of its dams, hangs precariously between hope and despair. São Paulo, a metropolis pulsing with energy, is held together by the lifeblood of its rivers. Yet these arteries are fading, their currents reduced to a trickle. Millions depend on diminishing sources, anxiously awaiting the return of rain. The city's skyline shimmers in the haze, but beneath the surface, unease grows. Every evening, as the sun dips behind distant hills, hope dims with it. Water trucks rumble through crowded streets, delivering relief to parched neighborhoods. In the wealthiest enclaves, swimming pools still glisten, but for many, each glass of water is a precious gift. The divide grows sharper as scarcity tightens its grip. Real estate developers look skyward, wondering if tomorrow's towers will have enough water to fill their pipes. São Paulo's promise, built on abundance, is now shadowed by the creeping threat of thirst, a crisis that no city can ignore. Once the monsoon rains brought life to Chennai's ancient lakes and tanks. Today, the earth cracks beneath the relentless sun, and the city's people gather in anxious crowds at dwindling wells. The rhythm of daily life revolves around the search for water. Women and children queuing before dawn, hopeful for a turn at the pump. The city's reservoirs, now little more than barren expanses of dust, echo with memories of abundance. Tempers flare and patience frays as the struggle grows more desperate. Still, the people of Chennai endure, turning to innovation and community in their fight against scarcity. Real estate fortunes rise and fall with the water table. Apartment towers promise modern comforts, but without water, such promises ring hollow. The city's future depends on the return of the rains and on the resilience of those who call it home. Los Angeles, the city of dreams, dazzles beneath a sky of endless blue. Yet beneath the glamour, a hidden fear persists. The city's lifeblood flows through vast aqueducts, channeling water from distant mountains, but these arteries grow faint, and the spectre of drought haunts the horizon. Lawns, once lush, now give way to gravel and drought-resistant plants. Residents receive stern reminders to curb their consumption as city planners search for new solutions. The balance between ambition and reality teeters precariously. Each drop is measured, every fountain a symbol of defiance against nature's limits. Real estate, always a barometer of hope and fear, now faces a new calculus. Homes with secure water access command a premium, while others languish. Los Angeles stands as a testament to ingenuity and a warning of the price of dreaming beyond nature's means. In Beijing, ancient wells once quenched the thirst of emperors and commoners alike. Today they stand silent, their depths exhausted by the relentless demands of a swelling metropolis. The city, vibrant and sprawling, masks its crisis in the hum of daily life. But below the surface, the water table sinks ever lower. Farmers at the city's edge watch their fields with growing concern as groundwater vanishes. The government responds with ambitious projects, diverting rivers and drilling deeper. But the balance is fragile. Urban expansion and population growth strain the resources further, and the ground itself begins to subside in places. Real estate here is a paradox. Modern towers rise, even as the earth beneath them slips away. The invisible crisis of water draws silent lines between those who have and those who wait. Beijing's future will be written not just in concrete and glass, but in every drop that remains. Cairo, eternal city of the Nile, is defined by the great river's flow. For millennia, its waters have nourished fields and filled the air with promise. But now, upstream pressures and growing demands cast a shadow over the city's future. The river wanes, and with it, the fortunes of millions. Farmers and fishermen watch the changing currents with unease. In the heart of the city, fountains and gardens remind all of a time when water was plentiful. Tensions rise between nations, each vying for a share of the Nile's diminishing bounty. Survival becomes a negotiation, not just with nature, but with neighbours. Real estate clings to the river's edge, its value bound to the fate of the water that sustains it. Cairo's story is one of resilience, but even the longest river can run dry. The city must adapt or risk losing the lifeline that has shaped its destiny. Jakarta's skyline rises against the tropical sky, but the city is sinking. Here, water is both a source of life and an ever-present threat. Heavy rains bring floods that sweep through neighborhoods, while dry spells leave the city gasping for relief. Each season brings its own challenge, and the ground beneath Jakarta yields a little more each year. The extraction of groundwater fuels subsidence, causing buildings to tilt and roads to crack. Residents build makeshift levees and hope for the best, but the sea presses ever closer. Real estate developers race to stay ahead, constructing towers on higher ground, even as entire districts slip below sea level. The people of Jakarta live between extremes, too much water or not enough. Their daily existence is a testament to adaptation, but the future is uncertain. In this city, water is both a blessing and a curse, shaping every decision, every dream. Istanbul, city of empires, stands at the crossroads of continents and centuries. Its storied past is reflected in every stone, every winding street. Yet today, the reservoirs that once sustained sultans and citizens alike are running low. The city's pulse grows anxious as each reservoir reveals more of its stony bed. Citizens queue for water, their voices echoing beneath ancient aqueducts. Amidst the grandeur of palaces and mosques, a quiet desperation grows. Authorities urge restraint, but the demands of millions are hard to contain. The city's identity, its very future, is bound to the fate of its water. Real estate markets shift with the tides of scarcity. Properties once prized for their views now gain value for their access to wells and tanks. Istanbul's history is rich, but its tomorrow depends on choices made today as it balances on the edge of abundance and want. Mexico City, a metropolis built on the ancient bed of a lake, is now a city in search of water. The ground beneath is soft, shifting as aquifers are drained faster than they can refill. Once canoes glided across the surface. Now pipes and pumps struggle to meet the demands of millions. Each day, water must be imported from distant valleys, while leaks in aging infrastructure waste precious supply. In the city's poorest neighborhoods, residents wake before dawn, filling jugs from sporadic deliveries. The tension between the city's growth and its shrinking resources grows sharper with every passing season. Real estate fortunes are tied to water security. Developers promise modern living, but without reliable water, such promises are fragile. Mexico City's search for water is as old as the city itself, a story of ingenuity, struggle, and the relentless hope that tomorrow will bring relief. Bangalore, the city of lakes, has long been celebrated for its cool breezes and lush beauty. But now its lakes are vanishing, replaced by concrete and dust. The city's thirst grows ever more urgent as population booms and the rains falter. Each morning, the search for water shapes the rhythm of life. Once pristine lakes now lie dry, their beds littered with debris. Residents dig ever deeper bore wells, chasing water that retreats further underground. The city's famed gardens wilt, and the promise of a better life is shadowed by anxiety. Innovation blooms, rainwater harvesting and recycling, but the scale of the challenge is immense. Real estate here is a race against time. New developments advertise water security as their greatest luxury, while older neighborhoods struggle to survive. Bangalore's fate is a mirror for cities around the world, a test of resilience, resourcefulness, and the enduring hope that water will return. As dusk settles over these 10 cities, their stories linger, a mosaic of hope, struggle, and warning. Across continents, the search for water shapes destinies and redraws the map of opportunity. In each city, the value of real estate, the comfort of homes, and the promise of tomorrow are bound to the fate of the water that runs, or fails to run, through their veins. These cities stand at the edge, their stories a warning and a call to action. Their struggles are not isolated, they are signals, ripples that reach far beyond their borders. The lessons learned here must not go unheeded, for every city is connected by the shared thread of water. The future of water is the future of us all. As we reflect on these tales, let us remember, the choices we make today will shape the world that our children inherit. Will we heed the warning, or let these cities slip beneath the tide of scarcity? Only time will tell.